US elections just happened, but I mean, the US election has been a culmination of certain economic and political trends across the world. Like, for example, you are probably one of the best persons to respond, having tremendous knowledge on free trade, I mean, on global trade. There is a feeling that protectionism across the world is returning, I mean, returning with a big bang. Like, even, you know, all the early noises by Trump, a lot of people dismissed probably as election rhetoric, but, you know, his appointments, the subsequent, the way in which he's conducted himself also looks that protectionism might come back very strongly in the US, or I mean, some form of protectionism, you know, more like, I mean, you know, like basically the...
I understand.
So how do you think, you know, it's going to, even, it's already India's feeling like, you know, our exports are not as good as what it used to be, and, you know, even China's kind of hit the, so as to speak, the wall. So how do you see this protectionism playing out? Is it a transient phenomenon, or you think, you know, since there is a underlying political force?
See, the WTO is still there.
Still there, yeah.
And you can always fight unjustified tariffs in the WTO. And the fight is going on every day. We are putting cases against China, and China is putting cases on America. America is putting cases on India. On drugs, for example, the pharmaceutical industry, the Americans are putting all kinds of cases against us in that. I don't think so. I don't think also Trump has got anything to do with protectionism. Trump was the first person to recognize, I think, that this political correctness is hypocrisy. And the public hated it. And most public was not going to vote. American voting percentages were 40, 41, much lower than India's.
Around
so
50.
now this time. But see the last election. And therefore, or the earlier elections, you take the average, it's around 40, 42. And now when he began speaking their language in their crude way, maybe all the sophisticates are not happy. But these masses,
Middle America, so
they decided to go and vote, and they didn't participate in any polling because nobody went to their houses, and so they got the polls wrong, and Trump won, and I supported Trump winning. I in fact won a bet with the Prime Minister's principal secretary, who said the whole country thinks that Hillary is going to win, and you are the only one who says that. I said, take a bet, and I won the bet. And the New York Times carried a big story about how Trump had an avid supporter in a Hindu fanatic in India. So, the same thing with Brexit. The lumpen masses, as you call them, they are fed up. All this, they want their country back. They said, we don't want all this internationalism. It's got nothing with protectionism that way. And now Italy, I mean, the guy who won there was behind 4-5 points behind in the polls.
Absolutely.
So, what about Modi? I mean, who would have ever thought he's going to... of course, Modi's victory has got to do with A, his personality, but two, our anti-corruption fight, which I am responsible for.
Right.
And the third was Hindutva, which RSS was responsible for.
It's a convergence.
Because for years we were dividing the Hindu vote and uniting the minority vote. And we said we won't allow the Hindu vote to be divided to the extent that we can. And our percentage votes went up from 21 to 31, we got majority.
Right.